concern comes from having regional losses on this map, right? And DRX being flawless and actually bring that across. I mean, Northception did make DRX sweat a little bit, but it was more attributed to a slow start for DRX.
Yeah, and even then you go into, I guess, the prep question of, okay, well, there's plenty of tape on DRX here, but does it really work out? Regardless, I like this proactive play from Leviatan. That's not bad at all. We're going to make DRX have to consider a couple of things. There's already Taco's done well to find Marco. You see, Halza slip back. I thought he was going to fall away on shore, but he's actually re-aggressive. There's a double stack here. This is stunning work. Leviatan just taking the fight and winning it. Perfect. Perfect start. What a way to instantly correct a lot of our doubts.
Absolutely. And I mean, one of the things I was going to talk about, DRX is actually a pretty easy team to prep for. The difficult part is actually executing that, right? Testing the strength of this default. So this is a good indicator here in the pistol round. A little bit of aggression outside B main, but it's fully invested. They follow through 100% with it.
Now, I do want to then segue that slightly into the question of stylistic matchup, because, again, to me, teams go out of these regions, they're pacey, they've got some real flair to it, they're not afraid to be aggressive, but I still don't think that necessarily is easy to apply against DRX, right?
No, I don't think it is. I come back to the same comment. It's very difficult to execute this and then actually continue to do so, right? DRX are a very, very good team at showing actually a wide variety to this default, right? Being versatile, and the one thing is once they feel this pressure on one side, they capitalize on it. Whether they lose out these engagements, usually it results in some kind of control or progress towards another site. So, but the key thing still remains for me to see the early indicator, especially on the defensive half. It is a real positive.
No, it's a huge tick in the box, but again, forgive us for taking a little bit of copium in the fact we're seeing a nice start from a team like Leviatan. First time we get to really see them. And it's really just to set the tone for the rest of the game. They've had experience in their own region, but coming out to a stage like this, the environment like this, the different teams, as said, you can do all the prep in the world, but the actual practical application of that is where it gets a little bit trickier. And I kind of want to take the conversation bigger picture, right? As of course we're in a tech pause.
We got time.
Thank you, everyone, for this. It is now in my contract that we need to waffle for at least 5 minutes. I do want to talk about DRX and expectation, right? Because I think they're a team that we constantly talk about, oh, they're great. You know, you look at them on paper, you look at the performance coming into every event, you're like, fantastic. Now they do well regionally. They pass the eye test. But then, where do you think they should be now starting to hit? Top 3, top 2, top 5? Where are you starting to put them towards?
I mean, Josh kind of echoed it perfectly. I said this at the start of Game 1 when we actually cast it versus Northception, and it's always, if DRX can come in, hit the ground running, RB be informed, because that's been a regular conversation topic. But here, honestly, I think this is potentially, at least early on, one of the better forms we've seen them in international events. So if they can continue with this, things don't get sloppy, you know, slow things down a little bit. I got a lot of hope for DRX, honestly.
Again, thank you for your patience on that. We are back in the game, so hopefully no more slowing down the pace. Because I do want to see how this goes and just keep eyes on Leviatan. That is it for me. And a 3-play stack towards middle. And swiftly handled by Taco. And again, reading through people's thoughts and expectations for the side. He's one of the players that was certainly a name that was calling a lot of attention. If he has a good game, certainly one to look out for. Off to a good start, keeping confidence and cleaning up very swiftly, 4 standing.
A good opportunity to carry this across and ultimately look towards the first buy round, but here on the bonus, if Leviatan actually do want to get aggressive, try and make use of these Spectres at all. See, seeing Taco one off the tour de force as well. If he can either get an early pick or, with a little proactive play on either side towards the north, maybe even get that up and reset back towards a deeper hold. See what the setup is here. Potential here to challenge. I mean, with where these stars are placed, he might even contest this A main orb.
Might see Taco fighting for this, and it's commitment to this aggression. It's not just posturing.
Look how deep they're pushing.
I thought this, again, holds for a second or two, has to respect the flash and dip back towards site, but again, a nice early challenge. This is really good Valorant. And I know that sounds stupid to say, but to see it done against someone like DRX, it's really quite refreshing. But this is the early work, right? This is the groundwork to create a really nice round. But again, DRX are very good at still reading the play correctly.
And the key part of this is if Leviatan continue to pressure like this in the early round, it's going to rely ultimately on DRX's kind of damage control, right? Damage limitation in order of feeling that out at least and At least getting the sense of where there's some space on the map. I see the 50-second mark here creeping back towards 8. We'll leave Buzz posted up, and he will actually deal with Prowler outside of B main. So at least presence shown here, but the trap's still not dealt with in market. Leviatan to sit pretty on this one.
They're working the clock down really nicely. That little bit of contact did sway Adverso to lean a little closer towards B, but the side hit towards A is coming in. RB's made those first couple of steps, but greeted perfectly with a smile. Taco now hits the swing and he gets it. That's going to be stacked. That's going to be 4. Obsessed now gone. And this is a lockdown. This is a shutout. You got 15 seconds and no way forward. Marco and Buzz just have to watch that clock rot. This is stunning work from Leviatan.
Perfect time to get the tour de force online as well. Catches a kill in the choke, creates a slow field, makes it so difficult for Marco to come through. I think Leviatan might even push through here.
They can afford a little.
They absolutely should, yeah. Come through, but actually get the upgrades here at least.
Nice.
And that's a concerning round, actually.
That's really brought me on board.
Like I said, if this trend continues, DRX is very, very good at adapting to certain teams like this, but setting the precedent early, it looks like Leviatan are pretty committed to it.
And again, this could be a team that we see not too far from now, as you can note on the screen. Champions could be.
Yeah, 1 win and they secure it?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's something to put in the back of your mind, absolutely. Just
and of course it's versus DRX, though. Oh,
imagine that. You're looking at everyone getting into your group. You're like, okay, who's our first game? Who do we get? Maybe a nice opponent. It's DRX. Right. But from what we're seeing, so I know that a lot of people are talking about Taco, right, as this guy who can be a big instigator to creating room, space, a little bit of that flair to it, and his operator work is exceptional. So we're already starting to see glimpses of that very early on here, sitting at 8-1. Bear in mind, the combined total of DRX's impact so far is 3. So this man already has been just running rampant around this map.
I think he's just explaining exactly how he just wanted.
No, I like that. That was very technical. Thank you.
But yeah, I mean, the timing on the tour de force there is, it couldn't have been better for him.
Yeah.
Because actually, I mean, ultimately, they had an opportunity with the dash onto site inside the cloudburst, create a little bit of space there, but the gravity well slows that entire thing down. So nobody's able to push past that. The second smoke comes up in the choke. Like I said, that slow field pretty much deciding the round. It's so late on, it's past 30 seconds by the time they even dash onto site.
Another little technical pause here. Gives us time to kind of reflect on this, and it's certainly taken me out of my comfort zone. I very much expected this to be... It could have been the same scoreline, but not in this fashion, I think, is what's caught me off guard here. The DRX coming in a little quiet. It's the first 3 rounds, but again, just the look as to how responsive, reactive Leviatan are really looking like they're in this game.
I guess to play devil's advocate here is how well they can replicate this for the rest of the half.
That's a big question mark.
You look towards this on Leviatan's defense, really, to make something work and have a lot of impact here. Whether or not DRX are going to be able to adapt to that. Again, notoriously good at that, but at the minute it seems a little off pace for DRX.
Yeah, and just had an update from our lovely production team. Just a bit of a keyboard problem. Hopefully that gets fixed up nice and soon. Don't want to have any of that leading into this game. Want to keep everyone focused, so do bear with us while we kind of chew through the fat of all of this, because it's still kind of hard to quantify and break down with so little to really look at coming into this. And for DRX, I'm curious how their prep was coming into this game as well.
I mean, statistically, the 2 win conditions here for DRX are ultimately getting to a post-plant. They have nigh on 90-odd% conversion of post-plant scenarios. Yep. The other thing is their first blood. First blood round win percentage for DRX in terms of converting that to a round win is also close to 90%.
That's
particularly
ridiculous.
On their attacking half, that's the important factor. So if Leviatan can keep this up, you're basically taking away from... to clip that line up. But basically taking away the strongest win conditions here for DRX is absolutely massive for Leviatan.
The exchange, and Taco gets caught. Okay. Let's be careful on this one now. DRX starting to go through the motions, trying to work this one out. A little fumble here and there, but it's not like they're not being proactive on the other side of the map. Keep your eyes towards this. And just a little motion. A look! And a kill! Marco's gone! And little do they know, the spike was on this side of the map. That proactive play to reset the 4-4 is huge.
Well, so actually clears out. It's a lot of information. Shy will back away. Doesn't even want to challenge this dash, but DRX want to follow through on this. Shy good for the first though.
Needs some support. It's so risky now. He's lost so much of the angle. Now, support en route. This is going to be almost certainly a post plant now. Stack's going to get that plant down. 2 towards CT, 1 towards market. Buzz up towards Cat, looking like first contact and gets proactive himself.
Wow.
Takes the fight, but the trade comes in. Again, this is still a 2v2. Utility left for King. Gonna make things a little bit trickier for the people backed by Bohouse, forcing Stacks into a very unfavorable situation. And now the 1v2. Zest, quick with one. Does he find King? Waits for it, and King gets his crown. Leviatan carry on forward. Glimpses of what DRX can do, but I've got to say, the composure from Leviatan. Mike, I like it.
Absolutely. Comes down to putting King in a 1v1, and Zest has been good for it in the past. Closing this one out. A little bit of a pace change here. Actually, DRX looking to kind of probe on both extremities, rewarded for it in B main, and this is the sort of thing I was talking about. DRX are always ready to hit both sides, right? They're so quick at calling these audibles on the back of that kind of contact coming out from the defender's side. So,
but it's such a curious thing. Normally, if you lose that first kill, right? Traditionally, people on then the attacking side will hit the brakes and look for you to try and even it up. But it actually works out for Leviatan to go exploring. It feels almost counterintuitive to that traditional approach, but it puts DRX in such a bad spot because they've exploited that style so long. So it's nice to see it coming full circle here.
The one thing I will say is DRX, the repertoire of what they're able to achieve, if they do actually resort back to a more choreographed and execution or something like that, that could be concerning. Because the one thing coming to this has got to be kind of that. I mean, DRX for me are one of the best teams in terms of looking at how they use utility in some of these executions. It is ridiculous to watch, and that will be the second test for Leviatan.
You're absolutely right. It's the depth, and that's always the difference maker when we talk about experienced teams and coming in from regions where or just having more experience at international level is your depth gets tested. Okay, our first look, our standard look, okay, that's been handled perfectly by Leviatan. We now need to go deeper into the books. We need to adjust further. We need to start exploring new options, and that's where DRX should start to find a little bit of their footing here. But again, we don't know what Leviatan can bring, right? They could absolutely answer back, and we do see that operator coming out for Taco, so I'm going to keep my eyes trained on this guy as well.
Well, that was on the money as well. Look at what Leviatan have got behind this here. DRX
bad.
Have to get something on the board here, and it has to be pretty clean. Verso, not typically where you see an Odin, but
the spam could have been nasty if they actually fell back further.
Again, DRX do stack up here. They're notorious for playing somebody inside tiles and Buzz usually just outside B main to control any aggression.
And what a really compressing thought of how red DRX are going to feel in this. If they're already bringing out this sort of very tailor-made look to them, almost bespoke to dealing with DRX, that's something that can be playing on the minds, but for now it's pause, it's hit the brakes. Maybe trying to punish some of the aggression we've seen from Leviatan mid to late round, but DRX is still in the attack. They eventually do have to hit the site.
Yeah, looking as if DRX has 5 now, going to try and force their way onto the B site.
Ooh.
Yeah, and again, look at just the precision of this utility use.
But in all the madness, not a kill coming in just yet. RB still looking through, and Adverso still looking to make contact. Taco tucked towards the back of the site. There's the support he needed. Buys more time, but 2 more make to the site. He's spotted more. Taco, this is so precarious, so dangerous. Players to left, players to right. Finds 1 more. What? The support's there. The system comes in. The entire team is just brawling with him. Marco now in a 1v2. This looked so good, so composed for DRX, and now it's fallen to pieces. But Marco has to divide them. Divide and conquer. Spots Taco towards the back by Boathouse, but King now finds a better position. Nade goes up, he has to respect it. Marco's still looking for something. 10 seconds now. Taco's just trying to get out of there, give nothing away, keep his attention drawn. Oh, he gets 1. But 1 is not enough, as Leviatan are holding on. These boys brawl as one. I thought Taco was dead 10 minutes ago.
I mean, the timing of that as well, to swing through, like I said, prevent them from even getting access to site comfortably and setting up for a post plant. It's perfection from Leviatan.
So
I think I said Verso swinging through with the Odin at the right time here. How long does Taco live here, not feeling any pressure whatsoever, and he still finds a kill?
So look at the bailout.
Yeah.
So good.
Last player standing.
I mean, this is almost spiraling out of control very quickly. Around 6 now, DRX broke once again. Sheriffs and a Marshal thrown in here. Ultimate's online, but this is usually the point where DRX have got a pretty firm grasp on the half.
Okay, so they're starting to maybe look for new options. If you're DRX, you need some and you need them quite quickly. This could be the time to potentially test those options, see where you can get towards mid potential for it. But King going exploring, and that's a sharp shot from him. Down to 50, but can back away with his life, but now has to be careful they don't springboard in over towards Tree. DRX are stacking up towards this. Looks like an A crunch. Nice little pop flash. Doesn't quite catch him. Oh, it's a shutdown. King's good for it. Flexing a little now. Cleaning up on the anti-eco. And it's lovely work from Leviatan. 6-0. This... Okay, let's roll it back to the start. My favorite phrase. We love to do it. We're all worried.
Well,
Ascent, it's DRX's home.
I'll roll it back to the start.
Hit me.
It was the most alpha move in the veto. It's now looking like one of the most alpha approaches versus DRX here on Ascent. I mean, there's very little going wrong for Leviatan right now.
Everything's going right. They look so well prepared, individually, fiery, proactive. They're a scary team. Like, I'm actually a little in love right now. This is... Ooh. And let's not forget, we're into the buy and Taco's going walkabouts. This is...
Just so aggressive.
I love it.
They pay no respect to the utility usage. Like early on in this default, they respect none of it.
Zero fear of the name. You're facing DRX and Leviatan don't care. They are coming into this like champs.
Look how active Taco is as well. He's straight back over towards B main, anticipating the second leg of this.
Something that we've characterized DRX with. You feel pressure somewhere, they'll explore somewhere else. This man has to be hyper mobile in the way he's approaching the game, show presence everywhere. And the counter swing to that is Adverso then having to fill the void a little bit more dedicated towards Tree. Tucked in, waiting, and DRX just working out their options here. Again, the lean started to come through. King even started to sit towards that top of mid. There's the flash. Of course, a little bit of utility, but again, 50 seconds. They have to make their move, and the suppress coming out as well.
DRX might try and find some space on Tree behind this. Be careful though, because Shy's actually exploring mid. The push through to heaven, actually shut down. Adverso finds the first two.
Even I've gotten the third, but it's actually Buzz to fight back. But Melzer is still on the site. Yet to be checked. The smokes have kept him somewhat safe. The grand reveal should be any second now. He's biding his time. They're walking into a trap. He spotted RB, but now the problem's he's been noted. Good work in the end by Marco to just clear that out in a 2v2, but Taco on the way as well. Timing is everything for this man. And he's so quick to it. He's just spotted the heels, drawn in closer, biding the time. It's a shot in the back of the head. The lockdown comes in. They've got to know where Buzz is, but one by one they peaked, and almost one by one they fell. But they hold their nerve, they hold the round, and they stay flawless in this.
I mean, even there, it was never going to be a pretty round win for DRX if they were able to get that across the line. I mean, you look at this, and each round, Leviatan, they're switching up positions. There's a different agent in a different position. Every single round starts. The DRX learn nothing, and they're 7 behind now. Wow.
Mike! Oh, look, I think most of us on paper looked at this and went, right, DRX have all the tools they need to pull this off. And then one man, Taco, didn't really like that concept. This guy's putting on a show for us. We might have a showman amongst us here, and you roll your memory a couple of events ago. Everyone was hailing Stacks.
Right
Bear in mind, RB is currently James Bonding. Stacks 1 kill, and normally I don't talk about kills like this, it doesn't really matter, but it's 7-0. It matters right now, and once again, Taco in the right place. Operator locked to hand. Just steps away from potentially more devastation. Found this time. Stacks gonna find it. Site now open, but there's still one here. Melzer's amongst them. He slipped the net. He's right in between them all, spots him out. Advance's got one, living and thriving in the chaos. Leviatan are not going down without a fight. RB needs to come alive here. Pushes a little further forward. Isolates King, and now we're into this 2v3. Plant coming in now.
Spike planted.
Set up comfortably here. At least the drone going to spot out one. If Versko find this kill, the spam comes through. RB responds, but no progress made yet.
No, they need to temper the pace now. Bring this back to that realm of reality. Shy though. Oh, takes it away. And this is unreal. Marco needs to get clutch in this to try and get one on the board. The tap on the spike. Adverso trying to draw the attention, trying to draw Marco out. Gets it to halfway. Taps it again. Sits on it, finds it, Marco, ice cold there.
Nerves of steel.
Ice cold, and they needed that. And it still was a 1v1.
But again, it's not the sort of round that really benefits them. They can't really build any momentum behind that. The ultimate cycle way off pace here as well for DRX. Finally, Marco able to get Shy. Again, just no respect to this Nano Swarm whatsoever. It's just like, yeah, I'm still swinging you. And gets 2. I mean, the pacing is completely off here for DRX. Some of the fundamentals that usually look so strong for them. See what they can build off this first round.
Right, do it again. You can hear it. Operator out. Taco has to back away. You can see now. DRX will try and take that space.
Still stood in the reveal, by the way.
Of course.
Fully committed to a shot with a tour
Oh yeah,
de
he's
force.
waiting. And he's back here again. Didn't take him long to make his second appearance towards the top side of middle. And it looks like DRX are trying to handle anyone who's going to peek out. But again, I don't think Taco's been over-aggressive. He's been that perfect balance of it. So I wonder if he keeps his composure. Speaking of over-aggression, that was a glimpse of it. That's the heat up right there. Taco now needs to be careful though. They've lost that top mid control.
They'll go down, but DRX is, I mean, it's taken them an eternity to get through here, at least pressure towards market. And again, with this setup and the trap being elsewhere, don't expect Leviatan to really adapt off the back of that. King will be in a position to shut the short push down, get a lot of information on the back of that. I should have heard the dash through as well, so 3 accounted for now.
Any damage would be impressive, and actually King's still going to get buzzed, but look towards the site. King's now overwhelmed. RB is doing damage. Site's theirs. DRX should be able to get that plant down. Maybe not at all.
Spike planted.
Spike is down, thankfully for them, but it is a 2v2. Far more feasible than it was. Zest on the side, one towards Hell. They've got to find them both. And timing's everything. Shy's got to play this right as well. Zest just gets spotted. Doesn't sit safe enough, and now stacks in the 1v2. Outdone, outgunned. And back to the commanding scoreline. Leviatan are the real deal.
They can do no wrong right now.
Nope.
I mean, another situation where Shy's just getting away with 2 kills, spots a pixel out of place. I mean, it's an unorthodox crossfire to hold here between Hell and Gen, but I mean, just leaving himself a little bit exposed. I mean, I'm blown away right now. Look at these 2 kills. And again, also isolated the second, wide in the open. It's not even like he resets after the first. No. Yeah, they are riding the wave right now. And they got DRX sweating. This is where potentially might see DRX start to sweat a little. And that's not often.
I'm terrified to see Taco and people like this on Breeze coming up. The map pool looks so different now we've seen this. Stunning work.
Get out of my way.
Shy has to handle what's coming towards him. Tries to slow down the roll, and RB does get slowed. Gets held back at the doorway. Adverso there as well, going to pour in utility, try and help them out. Bail out the boys on the site. Is RB still going to go forward? Sloppy from RB, just walks right on in. Adverso happy with it. Taco's there. Vulnerable. Easy light work for Shy. Leviatan are reigning supreme. Gorgeous play from the side. This is their debut, Mike. International debut. And they're pulling a 9-1 against DRX.
I mean, they're making a real statement. A couple of members of DRX, as we've already said, unable to really have too much impact just yet, but it's not even down to their mistakes.
No.
Leviatan are prepared for most of these hits when DRX do stack up, and like I said, those early indicators in terms of that proactivity we saw in the first 3 rounds, it's kind of made DRX reconsider their whole entire approach to the default. DRX have control of nothing, and even in the rounds where Taco's here swinging mid, he's swinging again.
He's doing it again. All off the setup as well! Taco! Unthinkable! Unthinkable! King dealing with the utility in middle. They start to aggress, maybe try and build that presence towards middle, and the swing from short. And it was just such a fine margin. This is ridiculous stuff. Absolutely unchained. Feverish behavior. That was just a little jump spot here. Doesn't quite know Marco. May have spotted him earlier on. He seems super dedicated towards this, but again, the short pressure not really finding much. Seems segmented. It seems alone, isolated, and King comfortable for 1. Buzz still alive though, but the trade not there. That's not bad, but there's so many numbers. Leviathan, they're in the right place at the right time, constantly.
Buzz down at 70 HP. A 1v3 presented here. Does still have the spike, but he's got to find one of these kills. Create a little space for himself. Taco posted up. A miss on the first, but he's been good with the headhunter, and he will find it. 10-1 the scoreline. Going to the final round, I'm not even sure how it's going to sit for DRX. In terms of the ultimates, in terms of the weaponry, it's not going to be pretty at all. There's going to be rifles with no shields. What is this? Deals with the turret? Yeah, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, it must be nice. Right.
Can't do any wrong.
Yeah, horrendous slip up by DRX.
How could they do that?
What are you doing there?
Sloppy.
Yeah, yeah.
It's one of the...
You can't give those away. You really can't. I mean, what are you supposed to do against somebody playing like this?
They are having the absolute tear. Like, this is their game. But, hands down. 10-1. See if they can keep this filthy scoreline going their way. Spam again. Not going to get quite the same sort of luck. It's forcing the hand of DRX, which is such a rarity. Post the ult doesn't quite get much for it.
Miracle, he doesn't actually look like
There's
a
enough
couple
of
of
them
those are
there.
going to be on.
But look at the pace change. Taco's here, eats the flash though, forced off the angle. He can't get away too quickly this time. Has to stand, has to deliver. And it doesn't work this time, goes to the wayside, but it's never just one. There's always another. They fight side by side. There is not an individual fight in this house. Marco just about staying alive. Just. Another spike goes down. A 2v3 post plant. The flank's on the way and nowhere is safe.
So early. Shy is here so early.
Where can they sit for this? Where are these safe positions for the post plant? There's just none. Zest has to fight this. He has to push this. He's done what is necessary for one, but you still have to pull off it against two. A tap on the spike in the first fight drawn. Beautiful shot to the follow-up ain't gonna happen. King, this is a statement. This is a new contender for this crown, man. This team has just destroyed DRX in the first half, Mike. I don't know what on earth we've just seen.
I mean, some of the cleanest, scrappiest Valorant we've seen.
It's beautiful.
Like, they're willing to just dip their toes at the start of every single round and not allow DRX to set up. And like I said, it's not even early on trying to look for first plus. DRX can't get past the opening gate.
No, it's composure and chaos. And it's such a rare treat to see this done against arguably one of the best, or one of the best teams at handling this style. Yeah. This was always meant to be something the DRX are good at. We are just blown away by this. Analyst desk, please give us your thoughts.
All right, let's break this down. Yeah.
That was a half. That was a half of Valorant.
Was it really?
It didn't feel like it, did
No.
it?
Jess had a statement. She said, she was like, you know, I think we'll know how this game's playing out by the half. And when she said that initially, I was like, well, yeah, I mean, generally that is kind of how it is. Oh my God, Jess, I'll never doubt you again.
Yeah, I didn't mean it in that fashion. I don't want to be given too much credit because no one expected that. It is very hard to make a great team look very bad. And this man on your screen right now made it look like he was at the firing range.
Yeah.
This was just another prep for him. It was warm-up. It was team deathmatch. I don't know how many other adjectives you can use.
He looks fantastic. He has been playing amazingly during the Latam portion as well. But he's just getting so many opportunities to take more fights. I think this game, to me, so far has been a utility and confidence difference.
Yes.
The triple initiative. Sight. This is what I'm talking about with utility difference. RB comes in his smoke, gets hit by a haunt, he's got to deal with that, and then there's a recon dart that comes through straight afterwards that Adverso swings on, then he dies. Mako's desperately trying to hold off the hordes, but they can't get in to punish Tacolia because there's waves of utility being thrown in that they have to deal with, and it's stopping RB from taking fair gunfights. He started this half 0-7. He just couldn't find a duel.
All right, well, you heard it from the analyst. You'll join us after the game. It's time to jump back into the action. Pansy, Hypoc, over to you guys.
I'm glad they're as stunned as we are, because this is something to really remember. Some of the beauties of this international competition, Mike. But, right, is this just one where it's like, get it done, get out, let's go to map 2, 11-1, man.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I don't even want to say they need the pistol because...
Oh, they need, ooh.
They need a lot more than that.
They certainly do. And away we go. Let's have a look and see what DRX have in store. Good start, but not without a trade. Two players left now, Taco and Adverso. And the pressure from DRX, taking a lot of space on this map.
Actually retaking all this space towards mid, so it's going to be a straight up 2v4 here for Taco and Adverso. Going to be able to get on here. I mean, Marco actually tagged up here. He's going to be the first to swing.
They need a pick. That's not going to help. Oh, the spike gets collected. Taco, are you going to blow my mind? Here we go. A 1v4. Show me some magic. Tap on the spike. Doesn't get what he wanted. Didn't get there in time. Gets suppressed, but back down to the classic. Still going to take one.
Yeah, to be fair, Stax just needs to invest every knife to remove the headhunter from Taco.
Correct. And then maybe you're fine.
Yeah.
That's part of the mountain you have to climb to get back into this game. But DRX have done as prescribed, and they get the first in the second half.
Getting caught off a little bit by this push through B main. And lots of investment behind it.
나 이거 가능성 봤어.
Well, they're on the board in the second half. Yeah, Leviatan not even actually throwing a light shield in for the headhunter on Taco. Classics across the board. It's been like they got this one in the bag. Just want to wait out this first full purchase. Initially, no presence towards mid. At least visibly. RB's going to creep through the smoke here and actually just misses it on the recall.
Ooh.
Spike down mid.
Might be nice. Get a little confidence going. Even if it doesn't really change the outcome of this game overall. And look, I'll be the first to be happy for a comeback for DRX, but it's such a long road back here. Just maybe get some confidence boosters. Feel warmed up in the game. Get a little bit of a lay of the land. Leviathan, they can just kind of work their way through the rest of this game. They can cost anything for DRX, chipping away at that very slim chance they have already. But for now, Taco's the one that has the most likelihood to do the damage here.
On the back of this though, the presence shown towards B. RB's giving up this space on. Sure, just find it ahead of time though. And Leviatan just trying to thread the needle, find a little space on the map. The DRX shouldn't feel too much pressure with this.
No.
With just classics on the way and one. The headhunter can get anything done. King.
One enemy
Get the better of one with the Bulldog.
10 seconds left.
Anymore. No. Okay, so 4 standing. Not too bad. You could, again, for Leviathan, they can play the waiting game anyway, but it would have been a nice little icing on the cake to make it easier if they did do a little bit more damage. But coming in with classics, they already kind of had their intent.
Well, yeah, actually, the byproduct of that, not obviously getting the spike down. Come through here at least with rifles across the board. Shouldn't be any gaps in utility. There should be full shields across the board, and it absolutely is.
Crunch time. DRX. This is when you're sweating. This could be 12 pretty quickly. But we don't know that much about Leviathan. We don't know what their attacking sides look like, but mechanically, these boys are
First half
phenomenal.
wasn't long enough to learn anything from,
No.
to be honest.
Not really. It was
The VOD
pretty
review is
swift.
quick on that one.
It certainly is. Let's see what DRX have in store, though. Anything
Obscuring vision.
to keep our attention drawn.
Standing ahead.
I'm actually almost shocked it's this slow, even in the buy round here. Again, they don't want to risk too much in the early round, but with the pace they set at the start of the first half, maybe just still paying a bit of respect to DRX.
And also just getting a feel of the tempo the DRX want to play. Not a bad shout. 50 seconds, they are really running this clock down with limited amounts of interest yet in the site hits themselves, but congregating on shot
no
now.
info really either towards these positions that are going to be key. Spike is making its way up short here, and it's a 3-man stack from DRX. Should know the majority of this is coming through short though.
Taco on the lurk could be interesting though, Mike. And I don't think he got spotted, but he should be able to at least catch the cross. That should punish Buzz. And you're right, Marco is in trouble, and well, he's lost for it. But the trade outs are excellent from DRX. RB and Stacks holding the line and holding the site. And now there's just not enough time. 10 seconds for Taco. Does not have the spike. They won the fight on the site, and that's all that matters for DRX. 2-stand rifles taken over. Leviatan, it was an exploration mission, it felt like, for a long time, but they just did not find what they wanted.
Yeah, as soon as they get that information on the knife, they know that they can stack a little deeper, play towards site, because they haven't really got to worry about main too much. The smoke goes up.
Yeah.
Maybe one person watching it. They can make use of the Spectres and whatnot. Well, that Marco almost isolated here with where RB had to. He actually finds a kill with the Stinger, sorry. I didn't even notice that. He was the one to pick up that position I was talking about towards A main when Adverso is revealed on the knife. I'm hoping this isn't a timeout to really consider their approach here. You'd hope that things were as well oiled as they were in the first half.
You'd imagine so, right? And maybe it is interesting when you're coming into looking like a game like this. It's a little bit, I wouldn't say easier to prepare for DRX on the attack necessarily, but you can kind of go over their intention a lot more. You can read into it. You can kind of learn the tells. I am interested to see how well Leviatan are able to read any of that on their attacking side, how well they can command the pace here, how they look now the script's been flipped a bit. So,
well, I mean, we might see the byproduct here is what happens if you don't give Leviatan opening jewels.
Correct.
What happens here?
How do they force that hand?
When they have to dig a little deeper and they have to burn up some of this util, which with this composition, I mean, Josh was making some fantastic points about how much there is to deal with on the attack for players like RB and whatnot. Here, what value can they find off it on their attacking half?
Yeah, it's certainly something to question. How do they facilitate that start? If DRX already considering to sit as deep as possible, make them work for it, but regardless, looking at the buy coming out, and this Shy still got the rifle. Stinger with King. Certainly not a pretty buy, but still a little bit of danger to it, but the full purchase on the other side, and RB on that operator as quickly as possible.
Right down the reveal. I mean, just look how much utility invested here. The ult command popped
The
as well.
overwhelm! They are just flying up the guts right now. Shy's just found RB. Doors are open. And if you're on that side, if you're Buzz, you've got to fight your way out of this. Takes the fight on shore and wins it. Spike now gets dropped. Stax gets there quick enough to try and provide some support because this was looking deadly. The pace gets brought back into check. Composure found as King now forced. Such a hard fight. Good shot. The Stinger looks well rounded in this man's hand. I don't know how.
The 14 HP does get an upgrade. Stax and Buzz both untagged as of yet. They're going to be able to reset away. They do have control of the spike as well. And King's just waiting on somebody to overstep here. Might even just be looking to try and police that operator and get a kill on the back of it. But what a hit. I mean, you can see the amount of utility that's just dumped on RB in mid. And Leviatan is so quick to try and follow up on it. I mean, that's the thing. What do we even do there? The operator is completely useless.
Yeah.
I don't think DRX are expecting it on this round either.
No, that pace was fantastic. Nice way to counter some of that work. The jump spot to try and keep Stax safe. I thought we found a little window there to play with, almost. Not to be shut down.
I mean, that one really could have got out of control there if Leviatan did find a little more favourable engagements there. Oh, it's lucky that DRX are able to recover off the back of that. Credit to Buzz in that regard. Finds a key kill onto Adverso. Stops the spike from even making it towards site. 4 rounds unanswered here. See what Leviatan's approach becomes now. Spread a little thin in terms of the initial setup here. Doesn't look as if they're actively looking for one of these duels.
RB, though, committed to this dangerous game. Tagged up, yeah. Forced away, gets to keep his life. Adverso took a little bit of flak damage as well. He's down to 55, but RB, if one of those shots had come up, yeah.
I love that from Adverso. He's just like, oh, is the smoke up? Maybe somebody's creeping short with an operator.
Maybe. Was not wrong. Wow. Really heads up play there.
Surprised, actually, yeah. Adverso comes out the worst of that with 55 HP left. The thing, DRX now showing some of that discipline. Don't want to give anything away. Risk creating an opening for Leviatan. And it's taken them quite a while to deal with some of these setups as well. The alarm bot now dealt with pretty late on in the round, 45 seconds left. Looks like B's going to be main focus here.
Gets popped. You can see RB trying to hurt them closer. Utility still in the way, and this buys time. 30 seconds. Clock becomes the enemy at this point. Leviatan need to get a wiggle on, and they are going to invest the ult towards this. RB still there, still holding 25 seconds. The spike is in middle.
Yeah, what?
They're backpedaling towards A.
Adverso's found space?
Yeah.
He's got Marco.
They've opened it up. They just need to get the spike on the side, and they've got this one. They've even got the rotation locked in. This is a beautiful pivot coming out. DRX completely stun-locked by this. It's actually going to take down Shy with the plant. It ain't on B anymore, and we're in the post plant. It's a 4v3, and they hit him with the fake. Beautiful work being found, space being found on that A site.
I don't even think it was meant to be.
No.
It's such a fantastic audible.
Gorgeous call. Taco, the first point of contact here. They do come through. 3 players about to swing. Taco's going to stand his ground. He gets 1, he gets 2. This guy is like bottled lightning right now. Melza by the side. It's 12 for Leviatan, and these guys are absolutely the real deal.
Trying to get one up, get the 12th on the board. Map point here. DRX will call a timeout, pump the brakes a little bit, but it's just, there's so much going on here as well. Like I said, I don't think initially this is just on the back of Inverso. Maybe hearing a rotation, maybe catching a glimpse of somebody somewhere. Didn't quite catch it, but the fact that Leviatan are in a position to still peel away from that hit and capitalize on that is insane. And it's actually, comes out of what we're talking about, DRX's ability to mitigate some of these opening engagements. They're playing so deep that actually they have no information on mid. They don't know if there's a lurk anywhere else. Actually, they don't even know what's behind that hit that's coming through market.
Yeah, bang on the money. It's a double-edged sword, right? Like, I don't blame DRX for playing this way because it's the logical solution, but there is then issues which Leviathan seem very aware of, which I really like seeing that they're able to exploit that, or at least they're trying to. This is scary times for DRX, because I'm going to be honest, technically, if you know you're a betting man, you play the odds, you know the games, you follow the scene. You didn't think this was a scoreline. You'd have thought the overlay was wrong at this point. But again, the way these have played out, it's been fantastic to watch. And yes, Taco's been a bit of a highlight for me, but it's not without saying King's not been by his side. Shy's, but they've been.
It's not a one-man show.
It's
absolutely
absolutely
not a one-man
not.
show. And actually, credit to once again what Josh was talking about, the layering of this utility in some of these set pieces, both on the defensive half and the attacking half we've seen now, have been incredible. And DRX can simply do nothing behind that, which is why they're being forced to play deeper. That's literally, it's the cause and effect. There's the mid piece here from Leviatan. Initially going to force RB a little deeper. He's suppressed still. Not even sure if he's going to be able to. I mean, just look at it. He's flashed twice. He's revealed again. There's so much for him to deal with. The fragment comes through as well.
All of this poured in so early on to force RB away. Does he dare re-aggress? He is. He's going to try and explore back again. The bravery pays off. Takes down Shy and looks for more Taco. What? It's a 2-for-1 discount. The man didn't need anything for free. But it is now a 4v3. Marco Stacks and Buzz just sweating bullets. You're not happy. It's all gone to pieces. And Leviatan didn't need anything. They didn't need help. They do not need help. Oh, too far for Taco this time. Buzz going to at least bring things back to this 3v3. Can they stabilize this round? Marco certainly would love a bit of that.
We hear the sound cue here, and actually, yeah, plays it perfectly. Going to slip himself into wine.
Oh, Buzz. This is so precarious. You're so alone here.
30 seconds
that
left.
Pressure alone.
You can see now Stacks actually reconsidering. On the back of that alarm bot.
Do I
rotate? Do I not? But he's playing so deep here. He's given up so much space. I mean, Marco has to find this kill. He has to.
So nerve-wracking. 13 seconds in the dark. They finally see a pixel. That dedication to the side pays off. 8 seconds now. The ult's going to be coming through. And actually it's Stacks. Lovely timing. And the dedication to sit deep, hold their nerve. But Mike, they were playing in the dark there. They had no idea what was happening around them.
Which is terrifying, because when Leviatan are in a position to stack up and push, they look incredible. It's just another way that they're really excelling above DRX. Right? For RB to re-dip here, and then Taco finds this. What is that? What?
Right.
Oh, yeah, we see it from Zest.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
Wow. They recovered.
It's the sort of things is here. It's catching them off guard. They're not anticipating somebody re-swinging mid. After that initial onslaught of utility there, right, okay, maybe they'll slow down now. They haven't got anything else to peek us with. And Taco's just found a headhunter kill.
Where?
RB's just gone swinging out mid now.
Right. This isn't the round you lose, though, is it, DRX? You're going to stabilize. You're not going to lose this round.
Is that the operator down in mid, though? If they can retake mid control, then it's a huge upgrade. Yeah, I think it is. I just spotted it on the
Did you
drone.
see it? Okay, and Hunter's Fury now invested as well. Catch attack, I think got one. Uh-oh, that stack's gone as well. This is not the round you're meant to be losing this. Kings found Buzz. It was never meant to be this round. They've got nothing. Taco's still top mid.
This is just the crack starting to show here. The pressure getting to them. Just a couple of individual mistakes here from DRX, and Leviatan probably going to capitalize on the back of it. Marco will find a consolation, but 4 more to find here, Lauren.
You are divided.
Well, show me what you got, Marco. This is the one to try and pull it off in. Well, it's not looking great already, is it? Door looks shut here in this round. Dives on in. It's the unimaginable. Leviatan on Ascent. Beating DRX.
Embarrassing DRX.
You're